I'm back. It's Shawana May. I'm here on Feeling Omi, and I'm determined to get this to show you guys how to make these block letters today. I keep having technical difficulties. So right now we're working on the T-A-I for my grandson's name, Ty. Okay, and so I chose the A because the A and the J will be the two most difficult letters to create. So next week I'll do the J. I'll show you guys how to do the J. And right now we're doing the A. Everything else is just straight lines. The I and the T and the N. The N might be a little difficult, but I think after you learn how to do the A and the J, you'll be okay with an N. So we're using this pillowcase with lines on it as kind of a marker, and then we also have the T right here. Let's see, the T is right here. I'll scoot that over. You can see the T right there. Okay, so I have them lined up on the same lines to measure the height. So the bottom of the T is right where the bottom of this A is on this blue line right here that you see underneath. So I'm now going to do the other A, the other side of the A. We pressed it under so it will match this one that's already done, and fold it with the slant so that the A slants on the line when you lay it on the line. Kind of like when you're writing on line paper is what this pillowcase is helping with. So, okay, so this particular one side I'm going to need to slant the side, and we were trying to, this side is gonna go down, it's gonna slant like this. So the inside of the A on this side is going to slant inward, and I'm going to have a little piece poking out. Actually, we're going to do it this side because we got the bias of the fabric over here to kind of regulate the design also. So you got two ends of the fabric. One has the bias, the white strip, one doesn't. I'm going to use the biased end because I used the biased end on this one, and it just kind of helps you guide what you're doing a little better, okay? And I want this A to be this wide because that's a third of the center rectangle piece folded in three. So that's a third of this. 2 folds to make 3 letters evenly spaced. Okay, so this is folded to make 3 spaces. So I want my letter to fit in here. So I'm laying this out, and I'm going to make it slant to where it will fit within that space. And remember, none of this has to be perfect. So I'm slanting it this way, and I'm folding it here. And I should get a little white tail at the end of there like I have here once it's folded. And it looks like I do on this side. I just have to press it down. And this is as wide as a third of that space. Of that center piece. I'm just making sure it's wide enough. I could move it over a little bit. My center piece for the A is going to be quite narrow, and then this top part I have all this excess up here, so this is going to get folded over and pressed also. So I'm just getting a visual here of what the A is going to look like. There's some extra fabric under there, so this will all be gone, this bit right in here, and then there's going to be a piece that comes across the center, so it'll look more like something like this. Okay, and then I need a little strip for the center. I may have enough yellow left to make my eye on the other side out of yellow too. Since his name means sunshine or golden sun, I kind of like using the yellow for that. Okay, to represent, you know, and he's such a happy little baby. Okay, so I'm going to press this down so we have matching sides at least. And then I'm going to make a small strip that goes across the center for the A right here. I think that would be big enough. Okay. And let's just press this down here so we have matching pieces that run across this blue line here. I got an alarm going off in the background that I need to turn off. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but I'm just going to press this real quick and then go turn my alarm off. Okay. So now we got matching slants for the A. That's how you do that. And when we sew this, I'll show you guys how to tuck that little corner piece in so you don't see it when you sew it, okay? So I'm going to go turn my alarm off really quick and I'll be right back. All right, so I am back. Okay, so now that we have the bottom of the A's matching and we've measured the space to make sure that it fits a third of the width of a third of the blanket, which it will. It's going to fit perfectly actually with a little tiny space left, maybe 1/8 of an inch on each side. So that's perfect as long as it fits within that space. A's are wider letters at the bottom than other letters like W's, and you know, W's are wide also, unlike an I or a T. So okay, so there we have that. I'm just really glad his name has no O's in it, okay? Because that would be difficult to create, but we do it somehow. We find a pattern of something we could use. Okay, so now we got that done. Now we got to figure out how to get the top to match the height of the top of the T. Okay, so we got the T pinned down over here. I'm just going to slide that over so you can see that. So the T we have pinned down, and it's right on a line also, this little blue line. It's right on that line. So I'm going to make my A match that, and then I'm going to pin it so that I know where I want it to be. Okay, so basically I'm going to be folding this top part down. You can fold it either way. All you're doing is making sure it's at that line, right? So they're going to be crossing one another at some point here. And remember, it doesn't have to be perfect, okay? So they're going to cross like this. And you want them to only go to this line to make them the same length or height as the T. Oh, we got to make sure they're at the same line at the bottom, because they're not. That would have been a disaster. The T is down here and I got them all the way up here. So let me bring these down some. I'm trying to make extra fabric, so I'll have extra for the yellow for the eye, and I'm about to mess everything up trying to make a shorter A than needs to be. Okay, so make sure you pay attention to your lines and that every letter is consistent with the line of the previous letter so that they come out the same size. I'm going to see, can I turn this? Can I turn that a little bit? Yeah, there we go. Okay, that's good. So we're just making sure that the line, see this little blue line right here? That's the line we're going by. We want our A to be folded at that line. So if you can find yourself a pillowcase that has lines, that will help. Now, I'm not going to cut this at that line because I need some extra fabric on the back. So when I sew the letters down, the edges are not frayed, not where the cut line is, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to iron this down, and then I'm going to cut it about 1/4 of an inch away from where I fold it down. So folding this here, right at the blue line, and like I've been saying this whole time, it doesn't have to be perfect. One thing you can do is pin this down here while you're working on the top. That way it doesn't rise up. Okay. So let's pin these down at the bottom. I try to use as few pins as possible when I'm doing stuff, so that's my fault. If you need to use more, please feel free to. And when wisdom merits, like right now, you using a pin, please listen to wisdom. Okay, so while I'm struggling to raise this up to this line to meet the top of the T, I'm pulling, at the same time I'm pulling the A up from the line at the bottom of the T, which is not good. Okay, so now I pinned the bottom so that doesn't pull up when I'm working on the top, and now I can press this down, and the letters are almost the exact same identical size. I'll show you once I cut this, okay, and iron this. Okay, so we're gonna press this down here. Make sure when you press, everything is flat underneath. Okay. I just wanted to get all these videos done today. It was my goal for today, and I managed to do that. Okay, so there we go. The letters are, let me pin this at the top, and then you could see. I'm going to cut that extra fabric underneath the top of this A and use it on another letter, okay? So there we go. Now we just have to put the center piece here. And the thing I really like about this, see that little piece right here, that pattern? This, where these two blue lines are, that's where I'm going to put my strip, and I'm going to make it about that same size. So this little this little pillowcase is really a lifesaver for me here with the lines on it. Okay. So, I'm thinking I could probably use the rest of this backside that I'm about to cut off to create the centerpiece here. So what I'm going to do is just cut straight across, got my folds. So where I pressed that and got that fold on this side, I'm going to go up about a ½ inch, quarter of an inch. I'm going to go a ½ inch and just go straight across. And I could go slanted because it's just a little piece. And if I go slanted, I'll have more fabric, more spare fabric, scrap fabric to work with. So I'm just basically following the crease line and cutting some extra there, okay? And I'm gonna do, and then I have this little extra piece left where I can put it in the center and make the A, finish making the A. Or I'll have extra to make the I for his middle name with the other piece that I have, which is great. I was hoping I would have enough extra yellow to do that. And I'm doing the same on this side, okay? So just about a ½ inch. You can go more if you want. Just don't go much less than that, and don't go too much more than that, okay? So I cut those. They're folded under. And awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, now we're going to, I can hold this up. Now what we're going to do is a little, in between these two blue lines here, I'm going to make the middle part of my yellow for the A, okay? Okay, so we're about to have our first 2 letters complete, and the I is going to be red, and that'll be easy, so I'll do that off camera so I don't bore you guys. There's no folding or anything different about, you know, doing an I or a T. It's all straight. You don't have to do the little fancy pigtail edges like you do for the A, the slant edges. Okay. So now I might want to go a little bit longer. I think I'm going to go down to that pink line underneath that blue line that I was saying. So I think I'm going to go from this blue line here to not this blue line, but the pink line right underneath it. So hoping you guys can see that. So I'm going to measure this, and then I'm going to press that out to fit just that size. So that's perfect there. And is that perfect there? Or do I need to go this way? Probably need to go that way, but that's a lot. Let's see. Let's do this one. I think this one will work better. So we're going to go from that pink line to the blue line. The blue line. And the nice thing about that is I can see the blue line over here and over here, so I can eyeball that, right? And it doesn't have to be perfect. So now I'm going to press that, and then I'll trim any excess underneath. Right? Okay, so now we have our centerpiece. We got all this overlapping here. Okay, so actually the more you leave extra the more cushy your quilt is going to be too. So you don't really have to cut off those extra pieces in the back if you don't want to. Okay, now that just looks nice. That looks really nice. I'm really happy with that. Let's see. Press that a little bit here. Cool. Now I'm going to show you guys what we got going on here. And this will be the end of our part C. So it's ABC. We did an ABC for the letters. Everything happens for a reason. We did an A video, a B video, and now this is the C video for the letters. Okay? And here we go. We got T-A-I. Well, we got T-A. We'll do the I next. So, let's see. And we're going to do the I with red. And these colors also match the colors in my quilt, so I'm excited about that. And we're basically going to do the same thing, right? We're going to measure them with the other ones that are already done, fold them under, iron them, and with the I, we'll just make a T with a top and a bottom cross, right? Bold letters, capital letters. I thought about doing a, you know, a lowercase I, because I thought that'd be kind of cute with the, you know, with the straight red and then a circle on top. But that will require a little more work. And since we're making this a simple quilt, I'm just going to do capital I. I think a lowercase I would be so much cuter though. Don't you? Maybe I'll do another video on doing a lowercase I. And we'll do that tomorrow. And we could use something like this to make the I at the top as a pattern, okay? So, yeah, I think that'll work. So, now to do that, oh, there's some kind of glue or some tape from the tape that was taped on here or something. This is brand new fabric. What is that on there? Let's see. Okay. I'm tempted to make just a circle at the top because that would be so cute. Like the sunshine, right? Oh, that would have been cute. That's okay. I can do it on the gin. That's what we'll do. We'll make this one a capital I, and then we'll do the sunshine on the gin because we have enough fabric for that. Pretty sure we do. Or I can make a, let's see. Yeah, we got enough. I can make the dot for the I for the gin, J-I-N, out of this and make sunshine rays out of that. And still have enough to, yep, that's enough. So that'll be another video for that one. So right now we're gonna do the I. How much time have we gone? 30 minutes. Just about 30 minutes. I really want to see this T again for this. So, okay, so I'm going to measure this here and fold it under just like we did the other. So let's see, I think if I cut this along this line here, I have enough to fold over. So the fold lines on the fabric are another way that I measure, like how it comes from the store folded. I use those as measurements too. So these have some, I don't know if you can see those fold lines. This has a fold line. It was folded like this. Anyway, you can see them when you have your fabric in person. You can kind of tell right here, there you go, where it's lifted like a little triangle right there. The little point, that's the fold line on the fabric. So I think on the fold line here, if I cut a little bit, maybe 1/4 of an inch away from the fold line, but my bias on the A was down here, so I might have to use the opposite fold lines. I'm just talking to myself. You guys can figure this out on your own. I know you're smart enough to do it. It's not that difficult. Okay, so yeah, okay, this way if I cut along the other fold lines, the less defined fold lines, I have enough room for a seam allowance on the sides. So I am going to cut from the other fold lines that run with the bias. So let's do that real quick. So yeah, that's cool. Now these other fold lines, some of them fold one way and some of them fold the other. So they're a little bit harder to follow. You can't just put your scissor in the groove and like go with it. I mean, you can, but they change directions. So it's not quite as easy as going with the other fold lines, but that's okay. We're doing it. All right, so we just got that. Now we have enough to fold under for the letter